DaVinci Resolve for noobs.
If you're cutting up footage on the edit page of DaVinci Resolve, there's a few modes here that you really should take the time to learn. The first one is selection mode. The second one is trim edit mode. And the third one is blade edit mode. And each one of them have the keyboard shortcut listed right here in the description. A, T, and B. Now, selection mode is the default mode when you open up the software. And it's a mode we use a lot because you can drag your playhead around. You can use keyboard shortcuts to slice up your footage, like Control or Command B, which will cut your footage right where your playhead is. And then you can left click and hold, and you can move some of these pieces around. You can even hover at the very end of them and shrink the length or expand the length of these clips. And you could left click and hold to move these into different tracks. But a lot of times I like editing in trim edit mode. Now, trim edit mode acts a little bit differently. You can still use the same Control or Command plus B shortcut to cut your footage, but if you look, when you left click on the footage, it actually has different functionality. Unlike selection mode that will grab a piece of footage and extend it and overwrite the footage after it, trim edit mode, when you grab the end left click and hold, it'll extend that footage but push the things after it in your timeline further down without affecting them. It also allows you to do a roll edit where you can grab that edit point and you can left click and move where that is. If you have sections of footage cut in between two other pieces, you can left click and hold in the middle and do what we call a slip edit, which is going to keep that piece of footage in place at the same length, but it's going to change the in and out point of that clip to allow you to slip it to a different section or nudge it forward or backward just a little bit within its own parameters. Another cool thing is if you left click and hold a little bit lower, you can slide that entire piece in that timeline and it'll adjust the slip of the clips on either side of it. This is different from the selection mode where you might have a space that you want to get rid of in your footage, and you might create a cut and then you might move your playhead forward and create another cut and then have to delete that footage from the middle. With the trim edit mode, you can just put your playhead where you want that first cut to begin, and then you can just grab the second piece of footage, left click and drag and slide it back into place and fine tune that adjustment point. Now, the blade edit mode works a little bit differently. When you're not hovering over your footage, it's that same arrow pointer like in the selection mode. So you can use things like the upper right inspector. But once you place it over your footage, it immediately turns into a razor blade. And anywhere you left click, it will immediately create a cut in that footage. This is great for just jumping through and cutting footage quickly. The downside is you can't left click to select and move anything, it just adds another cut. But the advantage here is if you have stacked tracks, it allows you to put cuts in those different pieces anywhere you want without affecting the ones around it. Once you get good at learning the keyboard shortcuts, you can just quickly change in between these modes right from your keyboard and start cutting footage even faster inside of the edit page.